And we have 3 questions for you today. First, what constitutes a cyber attack?
Well, it's not easy to answer this question because both the literature and even public documents tend to disagree on what are the elements qualifying as a cyber attack. We can have an idea of where targets are located, but then again the tools, the simple capabilities that can be used are so different, so complicated that it's not possible to come up with a single definition of what is a cyber attack. I will just stick to a very simple categorization. Attacks may qualify as warfare only in a limited number of cases. According to the doctrine, legal doctrine, we can consider attacks only in those cases that create damage or disruption on a given scale, and the effects are huge, although of course the scientificity of huge is still debatable. Other cases can qualify as cybercrime, as cyber-terrorism, or even just a cyber riot, but these, in my view, are not sufficient to qualify them as an act of war, so igniting a reaction, a legitimate reaction.
What role can the international law play in cyberspace?
Yeah, there is some kind of attempt to amend international law of armed conflicts in order to apply that to the cyber domain. I will just stress 3 main problems when it comes to the applicability of the current international law. The first one is just a matter of application. So how do we use the current categories and how do they frame action taking place in the cyberspace? Do we need new categories? And I would say that that's probably the right answer. The very simple idea of attack and damage that we discuss is completely different in cyberspace. But probably even more problematic is the problem of attribution, our second problem. We simply might be in the very difficult situation that we don't know who did what, the very simple person who made it. And the final problem is assessment. What is the damage carried out that results from a cyber attack? We don't know that. We cannot find the qualitative indicators if it is just a matter of disruption, nor the quantitative amount of the disruption, unless we consider just the economic effect. But, as we all know, in the international law, economic damage is not enough to justify our reaction.
What are the possible methods of defense in the cyber domain?
The cyber domain is peculiar. So far, the very same architecture of the cyber domain makes defenses very difficult. Actually, attacks usually take place when they can exploit vulnerabilities. In particular, there are zero-day vulnerabilities that are very expensive, very important. There are those vulnerabilities, mainly of softwares, programs, that have not been recognized before. And any attacker can use this kind of vulnerability, and there is no defense in the case. Of course, once the attacker has carried out the attack, the target can find out the effects and then try and patch and find solutions to the problem.